In the Bible, God anointed two kings from the same area, the same hood, same culture, same beliefs. They had the same mentality, but there was one key difference. It was their heart. One was an older one, an OG. One was a young boy. He had all the potential in the world. And if you know this story, then you know what I'm talking about. It's the story of King Saul and King David. And in this story, God stripped the anointing of the older one, King Saul, because he became arrogant, prideful, and he didn't respect that God was the one that gave him the position in the first place. Then God anointed a future king, a young boy, King David, right? To take Saul's place. And Saul was so wrapped up in the war stories that he had and all the things that he did for his country, right? That he believed he didn't need to respect nobody or nothing anymore, not even God. So God stripped him of the blessings. And as a result of that, he started to lose his mind with paranoia about who God would give the kingdom to. Because God told him, God sent the messenger Samuel to tell him that there was going to be a new king appointed and anointed. And Saul didn't know that David was going to be king. And nobody would have known because David was like a skinny little kid. He posed no threat. But David was the one that God chose because what was in his heart, not what people saw. And then David slayed Goliath. You guys know the story, David and Goliath. David slayed Goliath, went against all the odds, overcame everything that he went through. And everybody started to love David more than they loved Saul because of this. Because Saul couldn't kill Goliath. And that's when Saul started becoming jealous of David. And the scripture even says all the women in the hood was walking through singing songs like Saul has slayed his thousands and David slayed his tens of thousands. So everybody was going through, and it was publicly known that David was in better favor than Saul after Goliath. And then Saul realized that the people, the hood, the region, the country, his kingdom had chose David to be the face. And they were over all the old war stories that everybody used to talk about when they was talking about Saul. And they used to give him the same love for the same type of stuff. But now they were giving that love to David. And even though he previously loved David, took him under his wing, even had him in his castle playing music for him on the harp, now he was so caught up in his jealousy and resentment for his own little homie that he began to try to kill David. Because the little homie was being more loved in what Saul believed was his kingdom, his country, his hood than he was. Big U is Saul. Nipsey Hussle is David in this story. I'm going to show you guys everything that I got on this story, how Big U seems like, from all the information that's gathered, he has something to do with Nipsey Hussle being killed. Him telling on himself. He got interviews out there that have resurfaced throughout all this, him being arrested in the feds in the RICO case. So these interviews have resurfaced where Big U is telling on himself and giving himself a motive. The feds have come out and made it clear that they've reopened the investigation of Nipsey Hussle's murder, and they want all the information that ties Big U to it, as he's locked up federally right now for a RICO, for extortion and all this other stuff. So I'm going to show you guys that. I have a video that a lot of people have not seen of Nipsey Hussle talking about Big U while he was being secretly recorded by one of his homeboys. Secretly recorded in a car. Now, I don't know if this video was recorded for Big U to see, because Nipsey was killed shortly after this video. But a lot of people haven't seen this video, so I'm going to show you guys this video and let you guys kind of see for yourselves. And then I'm going to show you what the people around this, like Nipsey's brother, said about it. And I'm going to show you guys all the details, and I'll let you draw your own conclusion from there. The moral of this story is some people pretend to love and support you only when you're not a threat to their ego. Some people pretend to love and support you only when you're not a threat. So before we start the live stream, before we get into all the information, you guys know how I start every live stream. We're going to pray. Dear Heavenly Father, I come before you humbly, God, thanking you for the ability to have this platform to share information, entertainment, and your word, God, and love with the community that's here to watch. God, I ask that you bless everybody under the sound of my voice, everybody that's listening. I ask that you continue to bless me to continue to do this work, God, in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, man. Now, the feds have reopened the investigation into Nipsey Hussle's murder, and I believe they have Big U as the #1 suspect. In an interview that resurfaced where Big U was explaining his deal with Nipsey Hussle and how it ended after 10 years, right after Victory Lap came out, and how Nipsey was no longer going to be under Big U's control. And then Nipsey was killed shortly after, man. So I want to show you guys what what Big U said. I'm going to play it for you guys so you guys can hear. I'm going to let you guys hear this. And I want to give you a timeline because there's a video out there that I'm sure a lot of you have seen by now of of Big U laughing when people were saying justice for Nip in his live stream comments. And he laughed and he said, justice for Nip, and started laughing. And all his homies started laughing behind him. I'm going to show you guys that in a second, which I'm sure a lot of you seen. But I want to give you guys a timeline of this before I show you what Big U said in the interview that he pretty much explained his motive for having Nipsey, if that's the case, right? For allegedly having Nipsey executed. Allegedly. So this is the timeline. Victory Lap, and this gives the title Victory Lap a whole new meaning when you know this story. And you know that this was the end of Nips. That album was the end of Nipsey's 10-year Big U extortion deal, allegedly. So Nipsey released Victory Lap February 18, 2018. He promoted it. He toured it. Everybody know Nipsey had been working that album for like 6 years before he dropped it. So he finished promoting it. He finished touring it. And then he finished doing marketing for it in about January, February of 2019. Then he began working on his new projects. Now, if you remember the timeline, if you guys can go back, if you was there, you remember Nipsey released Racks in the Middle after Victory Lap. So it was Victory Lap. Nipsey did all the tours. He did all the stuff that he was going to do for Victory Lap. Then he released Racks in the Middle, right? Racks in the Middle came out a year and 1 day after Nipsey released Victory Lap. So Nip's Victory Lap album came out February 18th, 2018. And then Racks in the Middle came out February 19th, 2019, right after the next year. Now, around that same time, Nipsey brought DJ Khaled to the hood because Khaled was working on an album at this time. I think that was the Father of Assad album or something like that, where DJ Khaled had Nipsey do a song with him called Higher. And this song came out, unfortunately, after Nipsey passed, but they had shot the video in the hood around this same time that Racks in the Middle came out. So Nip was getting ready to have his moment. He was getting his Grammy. Everything was about to go in his favor, right? We all saw Nipsey going like this, and everybody could feel the energy. Especially, I'm from California, so if you from here, you could feel the energy like Nip was about to go. So he shot this video with DJ Khaled, brought him to LA, to the hood, to film the music video. And according to Nipsey's brother, Black Sam, Nip and his whole team got into it with Big U because they weren't willing to let Big U extort the music video, extort DJ Khaled. Now, you got to keep in mind, the 10-year deal that Big U and Nipsey had with each other, that Big U had Nipsey under, ended already. So everything that Nipsey was doing after that was Nip doing it himself without Big U. No more paying a fee, no more I'm under this deal. No more, none of that. So that was February 2019. Nipsey got into it with Big U over this. Black Sam said that they was tripping. like Nipsey and his team was tripping. They was ready to go on whatever happened. And I'm going to show you guys what Black Sam said in a second. And I'm going to show you all the stuff him speaking on it, so you can hear it from, the horse's mouth. So that was February 2019. And then Nip was killed March 31st, 2019 in the hood in front of his business, which we all know. So a month later, after the DJ Khaled incident, the first year that Nipsey wasn't going to be under the Big U deal, he was killed in front of his business. Now, a lot of you guys already seen, I'm going to show this, but I'm going to show it again. The video of Big U laughing when they say justice for Nip in his live stream. Hit the like button if you guys just came in. I appreciate you guys being on the live stream with me. I'm gonna get to the chat in a second, but we got a lot of information to get to, so I want to get through this. But hit the chat if you're a subscriber and hit that like button. Let's keep the likes up to 50% of the people in the room. If it's 200 people in here, keep 100 people hit the like button for me, please. It's a lot of good information, and that's all I ask for you guys. Check it out.
Justice for Nip.
Your boy would have been there like, yeah.
So y'all seen this video.
You did.
Your boy would have been there like, yeah.
Y'all seen this video before, where they laughing at justice for Nip, right?
Justice for Nip. Justice for Nip.
So y'all seen this video before. Justice for Nip. Ha ha ha. Right? And this is supposed to be Nipsey big homie. Had him under a deal for 10 years before this video. Right? So y'all seen that video before. If you haven't, you just did. And I'm going to show you guys the video of Nip talking about Big U in just a second. Just be patient. We're going to get there. But hit that like button in the meantime. Because there was a secret video recorded from a car where Nipsey was talking about Big U and the issues they was having. And I think this might be the only video we have of, Nipsey talking about this at all. So I'm gonna make sure that you guys see it, and make sure you guys share this video, because if this live stream get taken down for any reason, not by me, but by the platform, I want to make sure as many people saw it before it does. So that's the video of Big U and his homies laughing about Nipsey. Now I want to show you guys an article where the feds confirmed, the feds confirmed that they're looking into Big U for Nipsey Hussle's murder. This is from TMZ. Says Adam22 arrested, Adam22 says he wasn't arrested. The feds just wanted Big U's letter regarding Nipsey Hussle, right? Let's see if we can pull this up. I don't know where the article went. Hold on. Let me reload it. If this one don't work, I got another one. Don't worry. I'll show you guys this one because the TMZ website tripping. Adam22 previously denied no jumper's involvement in the Big U and Brick Baby RICO case or any criminal activity of his own. The Eugene Big U Henley RICO case is one of the hip hop's shocking current developments. We know that already, right? Says the media personality, Adam22, clarified that his platform has nothing to do with the case and that law enforcement never actually booked him. It says during a recent podcast, the New Hampshire native explained that what actually happened when the federal police visited him in his home over this RICO case was this. Said he revealed that the only thing that the feds wanted to see was a cease and desist that Big U previously sent out to the outlet. This was due to a guy named Loose Cannon, one of Big U's henchmen previously, self-proclaimed henchman. This is the guy that Loose Cannon is the one that did an interview saying that he's the one that went into press DJ Khaled when Nipsey brought him out. And I can show you guys that later. Says this was due to Loose Cannon's claims on the podcast that Big U had information on the murder of Nipsey Hussle prior to its execution, a notion that Big U denied outright. Obviously, he should deny that outright. Adam previously spoke to the situation on TMZ, going into more details around the implication it suggests. Said, this is a quote from Adam22. Wack got an overactive imagination. He said, I was not picked up by the feds, but they did pay a visit to my residence, and my lawyer spoke to them, and they made it clear that I'm not in any kind of trouble right now. I'm not being investigated personally. He said, but what they did want to get their hands on, which is kind of crazy, is that they wanted to see the cease and desist letter that we received from Big U maybe a year ago. And so the feds were interested in that, which is very interesting to us, because that makes us think, like, why are they curious about that? This is a quote from Adam22. He said, there's nothing about that in the original indictment or criminal complaint. So it's very suspicious. Really makes us wonder what the feds are investigating exactly when it comes to Big U. But as far as myself, no, I wasn't locked up. So the feds is looking into Big U, and they're trying to gather information. They're doing what they do. They're gathering information to see if there's any connection to Big U and Nipsey Hussle's death. Now, why would they do that if they don't feel like? You got to understand the feds is a business, right? They got to pay people's salaries, overtime. They got to pay for the building. They got to pay for the paperwork. They got to pay for everything just like any other business. It's not free money because they the feds. So if they're investing money into any case or into any type of research or any type of investigation, it means that they feel like something is there and they want to know if it is. And they're going to spend the money to make sure that they cross their T's and dot their I's. Now, I want to paste this correctly because it's important. I want to show you guys next, or let you guys listen to the interview that Big U did that may have given the feds, it's really him snitching on himself. He gave the feds a motive for why he would want Nipsey to not be here anymore. And I'm going to play that for you guys. I think I want to show you guys a couple. I think I want to show you guys a couple different things, actually. I want to show you guys where Big U confirms that he makes people check in. I want to play that for you guys. I'm going to let you guys hear it because I don't want them to take the stream down by me putting certain things. I think some of this stuff came out on TV. So I'm going to let you hear it. And I'm going to show you another video of Nipsey and Big U speaking on why he had an original fallout with Nipsey. So nobody can say, oh, that never happened. No, Big U said it happened. He did a lot of media and a lot of interviews about this situation with Nipsey and different situations. And all that stuff is going to be tied together. So let me show you guys Big U speaking about his deal with Nipsey first. So you guys understand that he had a 10-year deal with Nipsey Hussle. And we'll go into the next pieces from there. Check it out.
You talked about signing Nipsey. I mean, obviously, aside from being from the same area, how did you guys, like, how did that end up, you know, happening? And you told the story a lot before, so just kind of give us a quick, you know.
Yeah. My nephew, TD, I was looking for artists. TD told me to go get Nip. I went and seek Nipped out of all the people I already been interviewing and talking to. And he was the sign of light. He was the diamond in a pile of whatever. He was a diamond. Let me respect to my other homies. He was a diamond in a pile of other diamonds, but he was a bigger diamond. He was the shine. Yeah. He was, and then
he was the VVS.
So you saw an opportunity, in other words.
And we had made a couple of moves and was trying to move through a couple of doors, and I vastly found out that I couldn't go through these doors. So that's when I went and got Steve Lobel. And I went and got Steve, let Steve hear the music. Steve felt the same way I felt about the music. And I was like, boom. So I signed Nipsey to Unique Music, to my to Aramis Astrodome, to my label, to Unique Music. And then Steve was 10% management and I was 10% management because it didn't make no sense for us to go get another management. Right. And so we started pushing on that. So I signed into it. It was signed to a 10-year production contract, which started in 2009, which would end 2019.
Crazy.
Hello. But I ain't tripping off of that because, you know, it is what it is. But I do have that. You know what I mean? So,
wait, so your deal with Nipsey was 10 years?
It was 10 years.
Was it 10?
It was 10 years, 25% of publishing to Aramis Astrodome.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So 09 to 2019.
09 to 2019.
So technically, Victory Lap.
Hello.
Okay.
Big U said 25% to Aramis Astrodome, meaning Nipsey was giving Big U 75% of the money from his music and only keeping 25%. So for Victory Lap, Nipsey kept 25%, Big U got 75% of the money. He said, I had him from 2009 to 2019. And I do content from the entrepreneur perspective. I'm a business consultant. I'm an entrepreneur coach as well. You guys know that if you watch the content. So we're going to get into in Community Hour the mistakes that Nipsey Hussle made in business. And it's probably not, it's not what you guys think. It's not that, oh, I signed a bad deal. That's not the mistake that he made. But 75% of the money for Victory Lap went to Big U, according to Big U. 25% went to Nipsey Hussle. 2009 to 2019, Big U had Nipsey ownership of Nipsey Hussle, and then Nipsey happens to magically get killed in 2019 when the deal is over. And that's from Big U's words. So now he's placed motive on himself, which is crazy. It's crazy. So now that you guys have that, I want you guys to kind of just think about what that information possibly means. And we're going to move on to the next piece. Right? So now I'm going to play Big U. I don't know if I should play the audio of Big U saying that everybody going to check in no matter what when they come to LA. Or if I should, I'm going to play Big U speaking about the falling out that him and Nip had. The first falling out when Nipsey started getting wise to Big U was extorting him. And we're going to break that down in a second. So let's hear what Big U had to say about this.
He had my equipment and I wanted to use my equipment. He got mad because I got my equipment back.
Brought my grocery bag of cash straight to black.
He said Nipsey had his equipment.
Move it right here at my
Check this out.
shop on 43rd. Move it right here. Started. I had to
Stay in Atlanta.
I don't want them to take the stream down because I'm playing Nip music.
I had to get the equipment back and said I'm gonna move it right here at my shop on 43rd and Crenshaw. And then everybody can get there all the time. Nip, you can get to when you want to. So he got mad. He's calling me this song about me. Well,
So he said, if you can't hear that clearly, Big U said that Nipsey had recording equipment. Big U went down there to take the equipment from Nipsey. Nipsey said, you ain't taking my equipment, bro. He said, no, I'm going to move it to my studio, take it out of your studio, move it to my studio, and you can use it anytime you want. Nip got mad. Nip made a diss song about Big U. I have the diss song right here. The diss song was called You Don't Have a Clue. You Don't Got a Clue. And I want you to pay attention when I show you guys this. This is the lyrics. When I show you guys this, you don't got a clue. Look at the way Nipsey's titled the song. He spelled you with the letter U instead of the word you. So this is a Big U diss song, and I'm going to get into the lyrics of that in a second. But then Big U goes on to say, I'm not a rapper, I'm a scrapper. Check it out.
I'm no rapper, I'm a scrapper.
So this is the story and this is how the story has been told. Big U has told the story. Everybody's told the story. Everything I'm presenting to you is stuff that these guys have spoken about and stuff that's publicly available, public knowledge. The story goes that after Nipsey didn't want to give the recording equipment up, he made a diss song about Big U called You Don't Got a Clue. You Don't Got a Clue comes out, or You Don't Got a Clue, it comes out. Big U goes down there to press Nipsey Hussle. Is this song about me? Yeah, the song about you. Don't this sound eerily familiar to what happened recently, which is one of the reasons that Big U was locked up, because they say that he was involved. One of the pieces of his RICO case is that he murdered a kid that was signed to him for a diss record. That's one of the things that he's being accused of right now. That he murdered a kid in LA, or excuse me, in Las Vegas, a LA kid that they were in Las Vegas. And I guess the kid made a diss record about Big U. Big U took him to, like Nipsey say on the album, the Mojave Desert, and left him. He took him to the middle of the desert, allegedly, this is what he's being accused of. Taking him to the desert and killing him. Check this out. I'm gonna show you guys the article to back it up. And it sounds eerily similar to the situation that he went through with Nip. Oh, this article tripping. Here it goes. Let me skip down to the good part. Here it is. Federal authorities say Big U shot an aspiring musician in the head and hid the body. The Justice Department said the criminal enterprise is responsible for the murder of an up-and-coming musician identified in the complaint as RW. The musician was signed to Big U, his record label Unique Music, which paid RW to travel to Las Vegas to work with an unidentified Grammy Award-winning music producer, or work in his studio shortly before his murder in January 2021. RW's murder stems from the musician recording a diss song about Big U, which prompted the alleged gang leader and Robinson to travel to Las Vegas to confront the musician. Henley allegedly drove RW to North Las Vegas, shot him in the head, dragged his body off the Interstate 15 into the desert, and left his remains in a ditch, the court documents say. When Henley, Big U, returned to LA, he ordered his studio workers to leave while an associate removed security surveillance footage from the studio, according to the Justice Department. He then allegedly ordered witnesses not to speak with police about RW's murder. That's what the complaint reads. So that sounds eerily familiar to what happened with Nip, but just different timelines, right? Sounds like a repeat. So that's Big U talking about that. Let me show you guys where Big U said, no matter who you are, you gonna check in. Because a lot of people say, oh, Big U, he ain't like that. Like, Big U said it himself. Look.
There ain't no sugarcoating, there ain't no nothing in. It ain't not one human being that's not gonna check in. Let me give you on a bigger scale. The United States of America and all these countries have what is called airspace. Yeah. If you invade their airspace with a plane, they consider that an act of war. If you want to come in their airspace, you're gonna check in. You can choose not to, and it's gonna be a problem. If dudes come and you move it in a certain way, if you choose not to check in, suffer the consequences. You feel like you got something that's bigger than what is there. And because I do it, it's foreign to me to hear people speak out there, I'm not gonna check in, but then that's the ignorant dude, because that's the dude who wants the internet fame.
I mean, when you hear this stuff, it's not me. I'm not doing nothing but playing with what Big U already said about himself. Y'all heard what he said, man. He said, because I do it. Man. Because I do it, it's crazy to him that somebody would even say, because he know. He said it ain't one human being alive that ain't gonna check in. Y'all know what I'm saying? One human being. I mean, this is Big U saying this stuff out his own mouth. So can't nobody, I mean, you telling on yourself, bro. You're putting yourself in positions, you giving motive, you saying that, yeah, everybody gonna check in. He created a podcast called the Checking In Podcast and went on there and talked about all the stories of how somebody gonna check in and how this one checked in with him and that one checked in with him and everybody got to check in with him, which is one of the things that he's charged with, which is extortion. You look, man, Nipsey, I'm not even gonna say it. I'm gonna show you guys some other pieces because there's so much information to get to on this live stream. Before we get to community hour where I talk to my entrepreneurs that's listening, because I always do this from the entrepreneur perspective, because I don't want to just entertain you guys. I want to leave you guys with something that makes your life better too. So we're gonna get there in a second, but there's a lot of information, you guys. So that's Adam22 confirming that the feds is looking into Big U about this Nipsey thing. That's Big U talking about his issues with Nipsey. Let me show you guys the lyrics on the diss song that Nipsey put out against Big U when all this happened originally. Excuse me. Let me get some water. This is the diss song. It's called "You Don't Got a Clue." Look how Nipsey spelled the title. You don't got a clue. So this is clearly a Big U diss song. And the verse goes, look, you don't got a clue of what you want to do. I'm busy getting rich. You think I'm going to stop for you? He said, I built this on my own and everybody know it's true. Still, excuse my language, niggas act like they supposed to have control of what I do. But look, they don't got a clue of what I've been through. Nigga ain't had no trust funds or eat off no silver spoons. Nigga ain't had no peace inside my house until I moved. And I damn sure can't recall having no exit route in you. But really, I don't got a clue of what you even do. And what good is a dream if you can't make your ish come true? What good is a team when everyone depends on you? Hope opportunity don't knock what opportunists in your group. That means hope opportunity don't knock what opportunists in your group. That means I hope that you don't send somebody to kill me because they just want to take the opportunity to impress you. Anyways, he said, because then what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Because if you sharing your success and not your struggle, you's a fool. So Nip saying, bro, why would I share my money with you when you ain't helping me build my career, bro? You just collecting. He said, then you start to look like food. The game don't even chew. Eat you up and ish you out. And then them critics say you through. But look, they don't got a clue what you was trying to do. Keep it 100, don't keep it you. He said, but I'm going to tell you what to do. Here's what you do. Say F the middleman, get on your marathon and get your loot. Who's the middleman, you guys? Who's the middleman? We just heard Big U say in the interview that I played you guys, Big U said that he couldn't make nothing happen for Nipsey Hussle himself. So he took Nipsey Hussle to Steve Lobel, which is a music industry executive. So who's the middleman between Nipsey Hussle and Steve Lobel? So Nipsey says, here's what you do. Say F the middleman, get on your marathon and get your loot. I hustle because I have to, not because it's cool. And over time became a customer of the BS niggas do. Now I'm numb and it's cool. Had to bounce back and regroup. Hope you don't expect ish from me because I don't want ish from you. That's Nipsey's words. That's Nipsey's words on You Don't Got a Clue. So that leans to everything that we're saying, right? Crazy. Crazy. So now that you guys have that, I want to show you guys the video. And this might have been the straw that broke the camel back when it comes to Big U and Nipsey Hussle. Because Nipsey brought DJ Khaled to the hood the last month of his life and didn't let Big U extort DJ Khaled. How do we know that Big U is the one that tried to extort him? Because one of Big U's homies came forward and said that he was one of the ones that tried to extort DJ Khaled's music video. So I want to show you guys that and let you break down that. And I thought this information was extremely important for you guys to see. I actually did this video a long time ago, about a year ago. So if you've been watching the channel for a while, you know you've seen this video before, but I broke all this down already. So I want to show it to you guys so you guys can see it for yourself, man. Because I don't think there's no reason to rehash the same information.
Listen,
I could just
if you've been injured
guys
in a recent car accident,
what's going on. So check this out. This is the video that I did previously. Also brought DJ Khaled to LA, to the Crenshaw area, to shoot a music video. They felt like, according to Black Sound, something should have been paid up or kicked up to the gang or the area. And Nipsey Hussle protected DJ Khaled and said, no, he with me. And it made Nipsey Hussle look like he was bigger than the program. It made everybody else kind of have some. In hindsight, mind you, I did this video almost a year ago, but in hindsight, he wasn't trying to be bigger than the program. It just made Big U probably feel like he's bigger than Big U. So this is a classic case of Saul and King David, bro. Some type of animosity towards Nipsey. And Black Sam never named any names, but the internet speculated that Big U was behind this. And this guy named Loose Cannon is the one that's saying that Big U was behind it. And he says that Big U actually had Nipsey Hussle assassinated, or he believes he has something to do with it. And he also said that he's the one that Big U sent personally to go press DJ Khaled. And he put DJ Khaled on the phone with Big U, and he exposes the conversation they had. So I want to let you guys hear what Black Sam had to say on this situation first, who's Nipsey Hussle's brother. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to let you guys hear what Loose Cannon had to say about the situation. He gives us the breakdown of exactly what happened. So let's start with Black Sam. Check this out right here.
Man, we just, it's my cousin's birthday, so tonight, I want to say the night before, it took us to Wally's, Beverly Hills, me, Pops, and Adam, my cousin Adam, and
subscribe to
talk.
Urban Legend Will Evans.
Bro, you know, not to get into too much detail, but there was a lot of big politics getting into with certain people. You know, Hustle had DJ Khaled in the hood. Not to be speaking too much on it, but we came frontline like we always do. And, you know, niggas gonna know we gonna crash out behind it. We not playing. Ain't nobody saying nothing to Khaled. Ain't nobody doing nothing to Khaled. And he's straight. And Hustle frontline that. And, you know, we felt like certain people didn't like that. And did the video. Khaled got out of there perfect and smooth. And, you know, we appreciated Khaled for showing up and coming to the hood and doing the video. And, you know, we
subscribe
this
to
was gonna be one of them
Urban Legend Will Evans
videos, man. Hustle brought DJ Khaled to the hood, and you know, had John Legend in the other scene. So we at Wally's, and we just chopping it up about a lot of shit, man. Just, you know, making sure that we on point in security, and when we pull up, it's, you know, we like Hustle, when you pull up to the shop, call us. He like, bro, I'm not calling you niggas when I pull up. I'm not calling you niggas when I pull up. And we like arguing and just, you know, but turn into, you know, a little bit of that. And then back to you know, celebrating bro, Adam's birthday, and Hustle got us the back room, and, you know, family there chopping it, and just us four. And we stayed there forever, man. And when he walked out, we all walked out the back room of Wally's. I think Rivera, one of the guys that filmed the video, just happened to be there. And so he see us walking out. He's like, "Oh, Hustle, what's up?" And he's like, "Man, what's going on?" He's like, "Bro, they just sent me the first edit of the video." And so he pulled it up, and he like, "Man, look at this, bro. You look amazing, bro. You about to do movies after this. Look at this shot." And so Hustle seen it, and Hustle was smiling. Hustle was happy. He seen the shots of the video. He's like, man, he's telling him like, bro, ain't no more small time shit, man. After this, nigga, your shit going out the roof. And so, you know, we was all happy and shook hands with them, and then we left. And that's the last interaction, bro.
All right, man. So there you guys have it. That's what Black Sam, Nipsey Hussle's brother, said about Nipsey having politicking issues in the hood over that situation the day before he was murdered on camera, which we all saw, unfortunately, and God rest his soul. Now I'm going to show you guys what Loose Cannon had to say. This is the guy that Big U allegedly sent to extort DJ Khaled after this Nipsey Hussle music video situation. And if you're not aware of the music video that we're talking about, it's called Higher. It was Nipsey Hussle and DJ Khaled doing a song together. You guys can go watch that after this. But check this out. This is what Loose Cannon had to say about the situation.
When I said that he had friction, he was mad at Nipsey. Oh, that's my brother. That's my little brother. No, it wasn't. Nigga. He was always trying to backdoor the dead homies. And then when I spoke about it, when
Subscribe to
me and
Urban
Black
Legend
was
Will
speaking about
Evans.
it, everybody like, oh no, he lied. And now what niggas gonna say now? Because now Black Sam said it.
And niggas can't say now, bro. Even if say the niggas that don't like you and Whack, right? They can't deny this shit now, bro. This shit coming out of Nipsey brother mouth, bro.
Subscribe to
Yes.
Urban Legend Will Evans.
And I ain't never talked to Black Sam a day in my life.
But when I talked to Black Sam, I called Whack. When I called Whack or whatever,
He had been listening, I guess. He had been watching the movie.
yeah, he said, listen, y'all gave me the courage to speak out or whatever like that. He said, I appreciate that. He said, I love you for life, and I said, I love you too, King. Dead homies, like.
Niggas gonna have to understand now, bro. Like it's nothing. It's no response nigga can say, bro. Like the facts is on the table, bro. This coming out his brother mouth, bro. This coming out his brother's mouth, bro. And this goes neck and neck with the same shit y'all
Subscribe
saying,
to
bro.
Urban Legend Will
together,
Evans.
bro.
When I said about the DJ Khaled story, and I said that the nigga had me run up on DJ Khaled, and when I ran up on DJ Khaled, I had the phone on
I
speaker.
wasn't going to say nothing. Loose was the team that ran up on him to shut it down.
Dead homies. And then when the phone, Big U grabbed the phone, right? He grabbed the phone or whatever like that. He was like, Khaled was like, Big U, I love you. I don't know what's going on because I had him strung up, right? And Big U was like, I don't know why my nephew doing that. 6 and it's on speaker, so I heard it. I'm like on 6 like, come
Subscribe to
play me like this.
Urban Legend
But then
Will
I
Evans.
realized after Nip died, DJ Khaled sent his shoes. He got him and Stacy flying them to the house, cooking for him, all types of shit. It was a play, bro. That's the type of shit he do. He want everything to himself. He was jealous.
All right, man. So there it is, bro. There it is. Now, I told y'all on this whole checking in situation on the previous live stream that we did on this topic that the old LA banana in the tailpipe okie doke is you think you calling. If you a celebrity, you think you calling. I'm going to check in with Big U when I get there. I'm going to check in with, take Big U out of it. Anybody. I'm going to check in with this person. You know what really happened behind the scenes? I'm not saying that this is what Big U doing. I'm not putting nothing on him. I'm saying how the street works because I'm from it. 2 strike felon myself, been shot 4 times. I went through all that. By the grace of God, I'm changed now. I gave my life to God. But I can tell you how it works. What happens is, you think you a celebrity. I'm going to call the homie in LA. I'm going to call the homie in wherever. You call the homie, give them all your flight details, give them all the information. You get there, you get robbed. On that end of the phone, you like, I'm going to pick up the homie. I'm going to pick up and call the big homie. He going to get my stuff back for me. On the other end of the phone, the big homie is like, y'all got him? Y'all did that? Okay. On the other end of the phone, the big homie like, hey, his flight landed this time. He just called me, said he getting off the plane. Y'all go down there and get him. He going to be at this hotel. Y'all get him around there. He going to be somewhere around there. You get got, and then now you got to call the same person that set up the play to get your stuff back. So now you're going to like, yo, if you get my stuff back, I'll give you 50,000. Okay, yeah, give me 50,000. I go get it. I know them. I'm going to talk to them, let them know that wasn't cool. Get your stuff back, but I need a fee for that. That's the okie doke. So Loose Cannon just kind of confirmed that right there in what I just showed you. He said that Big U sent him down there to extort DJ Khaled. And then when DJ Khaled called Big U get on speaker like, I don't know why the nephew doing that. You know exactly why the nephew doing that. Loose like, what? You don't know why I'm doing it. Loose think that Big U trying to play him originally, and then he realized that, this is a play for him, because after that, it made Big U look like he's more influential than what he was. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like you sent the homie down here to do this to somebody, and then when the celebrity call, it looked like you the problem and the solution. On one hand, you the problem. On the other hand, you the solution. So you get to play savior in that situation. Now, let me show you guys what Nip was saying about this. Now, this is the video that a lot of people haven't seen. We got a little over 800 people in here. Hit that like button. This needs to go out to as many people as possible. I'm about to show you guys the video secretly recorded in the car. Nipsey Hussle talking about Big U before his death and saying Big U was jealous of him and he'll never be like Big U when he gets to Big U's age. Check this out right here, you guys. This is a trip. This is exclusive footage. This is exclusive footage. Urban Legend Will Evans, subscribe to the channel. And we're going to get into community hour in just a second. Now that you guys have all the information about this, we're going to talk about this from the entrepreneur perspective in just a second. This is the video of Nipsey Hussle.
I want to be one of them old people that's miserable and hate what they did with their life. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, mad at the world, jealous of young niggas and shit. It's a lot of old niggas mad at niggas because they fuck they shit on, we grew up around these niggas wondering why they was so spiteful toward young niggas. Like, damn, cuz, why you ain't get my age? But niggas be threatened by a nigga potential, nigga opportunity. And I be so scared for these niggas trick to work on me. And me just on sick, so that's my main motivation. I don't even want y'all trick to work.
I don't want to be one of them old people that's miserable. I'm going to play it again. I'm going to play it again so y'all can hear it from Nip's mouth himself. He said, you my nigga. He's like, and like, it's like you my nigga. Why are you doing this to me? He said, and I be scared for these people trick to work on me. I got to play it again. I'm going to let y'all hear it one more time. This is Nipsey Hussle. Somebody in the back seat secretly recording Nipsey Hussle. Pay attention to it. Secretly recording them talking about Big U.
I want to be one of them old people that's miserable and hate what they did with their life. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, mad at the world, jealous of young niggas and shit. It's a lot of old niggas mad at niggas because they fuck they shit on, we grew up around these niggas wondering why they was so spiteful toward young niggas. Like, damn, cuz, why you ain't get my age? But niggas be threatened by a nigga potential, nigga opportunity. And I be so scared for these niggas trick to work on me. And me just on sick, so that's my main motivation. I don't even want y'all trick to work.
I'll be so scared for they trick to work on me. He's like, and it's like you my nigga. Why? But he said, but then you feel threatened by me. This whole story is the story of King Saul versus King David, bro. It's all good until you feel threatened by me. Until Saul felt threatened by David, he had him in the house playing music for him. That was the little homie, had his arm around him. But then when David started getting a little more love in the hood than Saul, now it's, man, what the girls outside saying? The scripture says that women was walking through the streets singing, Saul has killed his thousands and David has killed his tens of thousands. And Saul got mad at the women singing that and started putting hits on David, sent assassins to kill him and all that. Moral of the story. What's the moral of that story? Same moral of this story. Some people pretend to love you and support you only because you're not a threat. They pretend like they got all the love in the world, all the support for you when you're not a threat. As soon as you become a threat, all that change. As soon as it look like, oh, they love you in the hood a little more than me, it changed for Nipsey. What happened? DJ Khaled come to the hood. Nipsey like, I'm not checking in with Big U. I'm not telling Khaled, you ain't checking in with Big U. Nipsey's brother, Black Sam, said Khaled was coming to the hood. We wasn't letting nobody touch him. I just played it for you guys. We wasn't letting nobody touch him. And we was going and Hustle front line that. And everybody knew we was going to crash out behind it. because we have been getting extorted. If you're looking from sound perspective, we've been getting extorted. My brother been getting extorted for the last 10 years. Nipsey Hussle put the diss song out and said, bro, I don't even have a clue what you even do. Then you heard Big U say in the interview I played you guys that he owns 75% of the money. He got 75% of the money for Nipsey Hussle's music from 2009 to 2019. Nipsey Hussle died March 31st, 2019, after Victory Lap. So 75% of Victory Lap Big U owns. Nipsey get 25% because of the deal that Nipsey had with Big U. That's an extortion deal. I know the music industry personally. That's not a common deal. It's normally a 60-40 for a production company. If the production company is investing all the money. Nipsey was investing all his own money. Big U was just taking his cut, allegedly. And Big U was proud to say that in that interview. He said, hello. Hello. 75%. So as soon as that deal ends, literally as soon as that deal ends, it ended in 2019, Nipsey gets killed. So now the feds are investigating Big U for this murder, man. So now, for all my entrepreneurs that's listening, we about to get into Community Hour. Now, if you don't know, this is something we do every single live stream. We talk from an entrepreneur perspective about the topic, but I give you guys a business lesson that you can apply to your own life that will help you be successful, help you make more money. I'm a millionaire by the grace of God. And I've been a millionaire the last couple years. And I've been earning six figures for like the last 6 years. My first six-figure year was about 6 years ago, 5 years ago, something like that. It's coming up on 6 in November, actually. And I like to teach you guys from the entrepreneur perspective, things I've applied and learned in business so you guys can take it with you and be successful. I don't want you ever to come to my live streams just watch for entertainment. I always want to leave you guys with something, some wisdom, some lessons, and I do it from the business perspective because that's what I'm passionate about. So here we are, Community Hour. Everybody in my subscriber chat, you guys know. He said, Big U said, I thought I'm reading, this is where I read the chat, and we get into this in a second. He said, I thought Big U said 25%. He said 25% to Ermias Ascadon. Go listen again. Go back, watch it again. He said 25% to Ermias Ascadon. That's what he said. Big U got 75%. You don't know what you're talking about. Go watch it again and listen again. I think I'm more qualified. I think I did the research way deeper than you did. So you just in the chat making a comment. I'm the one that actually listened and did the research, read the articles, and made sure. He ain't get 25. You think Big U only gonna take 25%? Stop it, bro. Big U said 25% went to Ermias Ascadon. Go watch the video again. Said justice for Nip. Salute. All right, so what's the lesson? What's the business lesson that we can all learn from this situation? Because my grandmother used to say, we walk on the graves of those that came before us. What does that mean? That means that we don't have to learn from our own mistakes. We got to learn from the mistakes of others. Now, my entrepreneurs that's listening, we in Community Hour, drop your diamonds in the chat. You know how we do in the chat during Entrepreneur Community Hour. The business lesson that we can learn from this. Never make the mistake that Nipsey Hussle did business-wise, and it actually cost him his life. The lesson in it is not to do a bad business deal. The lesson in it is not to, give up a percentage of ownership. That's not the lesson in this. Those are surface level people. Anybody could think of that. The real lesson in this is choose your mentors wisely. Now, we all need coaches. We all need teachers. We all need counselors. But how we pick them, matters. I coach clients. I teach entrepreneurs. Right? And I teach people how to do what I did, which is I have 5-figure days. I made $13,000 yesterday. I teach people how to do the same thing. Right? And if you interested in the coaching, go to the ulegend.com, scrolling at the bottom of the screen, ulgnd.com. Join the masterclass or something like that if you guys want to check it out. But I have over 1,000 clients. So we good. We just actually hit over 1,000 the other day. And we'll get into that in a second. But I want to show you guys why picking your mentor wisely is so important. Because a lot of people don't understand what they're doing when they pick their mentor. Matter of fact, this is something I got to address for people because a lot of my clients watch my channel. We had 335 people put in applications for the mentoring. You guys, if you're watching out there and if you're wondering, will I put my application in on the website, but I haven't got pulled yet, or we haven't got email. We had 335 people submit applications for mentoring. And if you follow me on social media, I'll put a statement out on this again. My team is going through it. It's a lot of people in there. We got over 1,000 people that are clients that we work with in some capacity. So we getting through it. We just opened the wait list for mentoring. So you guys go ahead, head over to the website, ulegend.com, ulgnd.com, short for Urban Legend. It's my company. And you guys put your application for mentoring in or join the masterclass. And if you over 40 and you want to learn how to make money, or if you're approaching 40 years old and you want to learn how to make money using the internet, then go to the website, join the wait list, because we got the next 40 internet income workshop coming very soon. And you don't need a following on social media to do this. This is my 11 years of experience that we crammed into 3 days and give you guys a bunch of lessons, some homework, and different things that you could do to make full-time money working part-time hours right now, help you retire. And it's really I created it for my 40-plus entrepreneurs to help them out, because I see that a lot of you guys struggle with making money on the internet because you think you have to have a huge social media following, or you got to go viral. And so we're going to teach people how to get out of this trap, of poverty through this workshop. So go over there, join the next 40 internet income workshop. If you can't do nothing else, and if you need some guidance as an entrepreneur, go join our it's free, U Legend Millionaires Entrepreneur Networking Group. All you got to do is put your email address in over there and sign up. It's a free group. We give you resources. You get to listen to the podcast. You get to listen to different things, get all the episodes over there. You get a secret menu when you sign up. So when you go back to the menu, you get all your entrepreneur resources, the free ones, in there. If you don't got nothing else, if you can't afford to go to the masterclass, or if you can't afford to get mentored or join the workshop, then that right there, that group is for you, the Entrepreneur Networking Group, which is something I created because when I was getting started, when I was 19, that was one of the hardest things, is having the resources. So let's get back to this. Our Entrepreneur Community Hour. The lesson we can learn, Nipsey Hussle and Big U. Pick your mentors wisely. Choose your mentors wisely. Now, we all need coaches, right? But more important than just picking somebody is we got to consider how we picking them. Now, with my clients, and I'm going to give you guys free game on this. We're going to give a lot of free game right here, business-wise, money-wise. This is for my hustlers now. If you ain't a hustler, you ain't going to enjoy this part. But this is for the hustlers. All right, free game. I teach people to pick mentors and coaches 3 ways. And I'm not just saying, oh, pick me. No, I'm saying anybody. And everybody that I know, all the millionaires that I know, they all have mentors. I was just listening to somebody yesterday. He said he made $5.5 million. They asked him, does he have mentors? How much has he spent on coaching and mentoring? He said he made $5.5 million in a day. He spent 1.7 on coaching. And the reason having a mentor is important is because they expedite the process. They teach you things that you don't know, and you get to learn off of their pain and their experiences, so you don't have to. So I made $13,000 yesterday, right? In a day. I teach people how to do the same thing. So even if somebody might go, oh, well, why does it cost so much to get mentoring? Well, it costs a lot because, one, where your heart, the Bible says, Jesus said, where your treasure is, therefore your heart will also, there so your heart will also be. Wherever your treasure is. So people that don't pay, they don't pay attention. When you get information for free, you don't really care. That's one reason that you charge. And that I know I charge a lot, but the biggest reason that I charge a lot is because of the value I bring. If I'm going to teach you how to make $10,000+ in a day, or for some clients, they're low, they're not as established in their businesses. So I teach them how to make $10K a month, right? How to just, at the bare minimum, you should be a 6-figure earner. You can become a 6-figure earner, not should be, but you can become. That's $10,000 sounds like crazy money to people, but I teach people how to do that. Bro, you could do that. We could do that in 60 days, 30 days. Teach you how to make 10,000. But I'm gonna charge you 4,000 one time. You pay me 4,000 one time, I'll teach you how to make 10,000 next month, right? But then you get to use that for the rest of your life. So you pay me this one time, we get on a call, and then you make that. That's why we charge, right? So the reason you pick a mentor, the reason you get a coach is to expedite this. Now, in this situation, Nipsey picked the wrong mentor. So I want to teach you guys some ways that you could pick the right coach, the right mentor. Number one, I got 3 of them, and I always teach these if you guys watch. Number one, never pick a coach or mentor that needs you more than them. That's a problem. They should either already be the person that you want to become, or more importantly, they should be successful before they begin teaching and coaching others. A good entrepreneur coach should know how to make money and be rich before he starts teaching people, not because he started teaching people, right? So like, if you selling the book on how to get rich, if the guy you're getting to mentor you is selling the book on how to get rich as a means to get rich, he's a scammer. If the guy that's mentoring you is mentoring you to get rich, if he teaches people and coaches people to get rich, that's a scammer. You shouldn't be selling a book on how to get rich in order to get rich, because how do you know? There should be experience there, right? Big U came fresh out of jail, and he said in an interview that I played for you guys, he needed Nipsey more than Nipsey needed him. He saw a diamond, he said. He said he saw a diamond amongst nothings. Nip didn't even see that about himself for real. That was a mistake. And Nip didn't identify it fast enough, so he allowed a mentor that had little success without him to come and start teaching him. So that's the first one that I teach my entrepreneurs out there. Never pick a coach or mentor that needs you more than you need them. They should be successful for a period of time before they start coaching and teaching you. So like I said, for me personally, right, in my business, I've been rich for 6 years, but I've been in business doing this for 11. Not coaching, not teaching. I'm just saying in my business, right? But this branch of my business where I teach entrepreneurs directly, I've been doing this since last August. It's less than a year. So from 2014 to 2018, I was only investing in myself. I spent those first 4 years building my brand, my associations, my credibility, my online presence, right? I didn't do nothing else but that. And I started going viral so much that businesses started reaching out to me. Businesses, not entrepreneurs. Businesses, corporations, companies started reaching out to me to teach them modern marketing. Because at that time, the trend of business was a lot of these companies didn't know how to use. I've seen so many companies fail because they don't know how to use social media. So I saw a need and I filled that need. And I created a business that I turned into. I created this business using my personal brand. I was already at that point, I began monetizing all my social media platforms. Right. So it started with me building a personal brand. I don't even use the internet for free, you guys. I would never get on the internet for free. I don't care what platform it is. Every platform I monetize. I got 3 monetized Instagrams, 3 or 4 monetized TikToks, 3 monetized YouTube channels, 4 monetized YouTube channels, excuse me. Something like that. Like if I'm on the internet, I'm not going to use it for free. So I teach people how to do the same thing. But in the beginning, I only taught businesses and companies directly the skills that I had in that for the first 5 years of my business. Right? So 4 years building my personal brand, learning how to do it for myself. That created the credibility where I was able to teach it to businesses for the following 5 years, from 2018 to 2023. I was teaching it directly to companies. I started with small businesses, and the more businesses I work with, the bigger the businesses came. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen, which I don't, the Anaheim Angels reached out to me. I work with some big people. So if you follow, you remember that a couple years ago when I first bought my mansion. If you was watching on my Instagram, when I got that deal, and then you seen the other deals. A lot of you guys, if you followed me, then you seen the deals that I did along the way. So I made my first 6-figure year. I made $177,000, and then $241,000 my second year. And I was so scared after that $177,000, I didn't spend nothing because I didn't know if it was real. Then I made $241,000. Was it 233? It was like 233 or 241 my second year, making 6 figures. And that's because I did an equity deal with a company. And I was taking ownership shares of the company for teaching the marketing instead of just the upfront money. So I was able to, equity deals is a whole different thing. That's a side note. So an equity deal, how that works is the company will reach out to me. I'm going to say, hey, instead of you guys giving me that money in a check, I'm going to give it. I want to put the money you would give me into ownership shares of the company, because I knew I was going to market the company and help them. I knew I was good at what I did. Right. And so when I help you blow this up, I want ownership. So that money made me a lot of money. So That's a whole nother thing. But my point in saying all this is not because of me. My point in saying all this is because of you, right? You need to pick a mentor that they allow you, they need to be successful without you. So they allow you to stay in the mentee's place. So to tie that off, right? So I've been in business for a while. Then in July 2024, after 6 years working with companies, I said, I'm gonna work with entrepreneurs. That's when I started teaching entrepreneurs. Not in year 1, year 2, year 3. No, we in year 9, 10 at that point. Then I said, you know what? I'm tired of working with companies. The reason I stopped working with companies is because I got baptized. I went to Israel. If you guys watched last summer, I went to Israel. I got baptized, changed my life, gave my life to God. I got baptized in the Jordan River, the water that Jesus was baptized in. And I was reading the scripture and studying the scriptures. When Jesus started his ministry at 30 years old, it was right after being baptized. I'm 30 years old right now. I was 30 years old at that time. It was right after my 30th birthday. I got baptized and I said, I'm about to go start my ministry. I want to work directly with people. And I teach people business on Bible principles, because that's where I learned all my business principles from. So I teach basic skills, basic principles, but all my principles come from the Bible. 2,500 plus verses in the Bible talk about money and businesses. Jesus, he taught 16 of 38 parables on money and business. And I like to teach people the business principles that I know based on scripture. And that's what I use to back it up. This is what the scripture says about this. That's how I've been able to accumulate so much success for myself. It's not me. Companies don't like when you bring religion into your coaching. Entrepreneurs appreciate it way more. So I told my wife, like, man, I'm about to start working with entrepreneurs directly. We're going to invest in this and we're going to help people, not companies anymore. We're going to help people, which was a big step for me because the money was good. But sometimes you gotta take a leap on faith. And sometimes God is more concerned with the obedience more than the sacrifice, which is another David and Saul thing, right? So because companies really don't like you bringing in religion into your coaching, I started working with entrepreneurs directly. Now I teach entrepreneurs directly, but I've been doing that less than a year. My point in saying all that is never pick a mentor. Never pick a mentor that needs you more than you need them. They got to stay in the mentor place. You got to stay in the mentee place. If they coaching you, you should not be their primary means of getting rich. Nipsey made that mistake with Big U. So when I coach people, they know Will's been successful. When I first started coaching, I would even bring in my scheduled C's. Hey, bro, you can see what I made. I don't need you. But I like to help people because I like seeing entrepreneurs light up when I say something that they didn't understand. Right? And even to this point, when I say that I teach from the biblical perspective, I'll give you guys an example of that because a lot of people don't know what that means. So I'll give you an example of a blueprint that I use, and then you guys can use this for your businesses too. Drop a diamond in the chat. Drop a diamond in the chat. I'm about to give you guys a gem to take for you and your businesses. Here we go. This is something I teach to my clients too. So I follow the blueprint set by God, and I want you guys to follow this blueprint. This is something that I teach a lot of people. And I found it in Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, the first thing the Bible ever says, right? So I found it in Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. It says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. In that, a lot of people skip over that. And they don't look at, like, we get in so much of a rush to get through the Bible don't get through to us. That's a blueprint for creation of anything, but especially business. Because the earth is the ultimate system. It's the ultimate business, right? So in the beginning, Genesis 1 says, God created the heavens and the earth. And in the Bible, when you study scripture, you realize that God reveals himself as two things in the Bible. Love is, the Bible literally says word for word, God is love. And then it says God is what? Truth. So two things that the Bible reveals itself. This is a business principle that I'm going to teach you guys. Learn this and apply it for yourself. God is love. God is truth. That's the only 3-word sentences, but those are the only two things that come after is. God is love and truth in the Bible. Study it for yourself. Look it up. Don't take my word for it. Word for word, that's what it says. That's what the scripture says. God is love. And then you'll find it in another place. God is truth. 3 words. So if you replace the words in Genesis chapter 1, instead of saying in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and in the beginning, you replace the word God with love, because it says God is love. In the beginning, love created the heavens and the earth. Or if you do it with truth, in the beginning, truth created the heavens and the earth, because it says God is love, God is truth, word for word. Then what you get is this understanding here. It shows me why, first of all, why God created, because, well, first thing, before we even get to that, you got to understand that God is a creator. That's what the first thing the Bible tells us. God is a creator. So he's creative. So he likes to create. So in the beginning, God created, right? And he's so creative that creating is his way of expressing love. So in the beginning, love created. Now, for you personally, you cannot express love without creating something. Anytime you decide, because we're all made in God's image, if I decide I'm going to love something, it creates something else. It could be a thought. It could be a feeling. It could be an emotion. It could be something physically that I create out of love. But something happens every time you decide to love something, or every time you decide to, express love. So if you replace those words, in the beginning, love created, right? And I'm gonna get back to business in a second. Just stay with me. Have some attention span. In the beginning, love created the heavens and the earth, right? Then you realize God is a creator, and love is his way of expressing, or earth is his way of expressing. His creation is his way of expressing the love he has for creation, for creating. Because in the beginning, God created, right? And we're going to get to business in a second. Stay with me. So it's impossible to express love without creating something. Then it says God is truth in the Bible. So in the beginning, truth created the heavens and the earth, right? The purest creations can only come from truth, because truth is the only thing that's uncorrupted by deception, agenda, selfish ambitions, right? So when something's created from truth, it's literally birthed purely from God's nature. So if you use that blueprint, if you understand those two things, and you use those blueprint, that's God's blueprint for how he created the ultimate creation, which is earth and everything in it, right? And you use that to create your business with the same principles. And I teach these to my clients. Do the same thing. When you create your business, when you come up with the idea, you have to create it from a place of love, and it has to come from a place of truth. You can't just do it just because you want to make money. When I started this business, it's because I love business. And what's true to me wasn't working with the companies. It was working directly with the entrepreneurs. That's the truth. That's the place I want to come. I want to help God's people, not just make money. I had made money at that point. So when you come from a place of love and truth, you create the best business that you could possibly create. So, and if you watch my content, I also teach, which my second book is going to be about. I wrote my first book already, but my second book is called The 4 Pillars of Purpose. And the 4 pillars are enjoyment, expertise, empathy, and exaltation, right? Enjoyment, expertise, empathy, and exaltation, which means if you're going to create the perfect business, then you got to create it based on what you like, what you're good at, how you can serve a lot of people, not serve yourself, not make money, how you can help other people's problems, and exaltation, how you can honor God. By doing all 4 of those things, you find the perfect business idea. I won't go too much into it today, but those are my 4 pillars of purpose. And I teach my clients how to build their business, starting with that, right? Because if you don't become the person that can have the success, then all the success is for nothing. The Bible says, Psalm 127, chapter 127, it's in vain that you rise early and go late to rest, eating the bread of anxious toil. If you build the city without God, then you do it and you build in vain. If the watchman stays awake without God, he stays awake in vain. In vain you rise early and go to rest late, eating the bread of anxious toil. That's what the scripture says. For God grants rest to those that he loves. What does that mean? That means no matter how hard you work on something, if God ain't in it, it don't matter. When I learned that principle, these are principles that I learned in business that allowed me to go from 6-figure to millionaire. Because anybody can make 6 figures. To get to that next step, you got to have something else. But I teach people how to get there. So you got to become the person that understands it first. If I give $1 million to a homeless person, if I cast my pearls before swine, if I give you $1 million and you don't know how to manage it, or if you're not the person that knows what that means, if you're not the person that can have the success don't matter. Now, all that being said, right? The first principle is don't pick a mentor that needs you more than you need them when you're picking a coach or a mentor, which is the mistake that Nipsey made. That's one of the mistakes, the biggest mistakes that he made, right? The mentor should be qualified by the suffering and qualified by the success. You have to go through the fire, and then you have to have the success without the mentee. You don't need to extort people. You know, I don't extort people. I don't scam them. I don't even take money that don't make sense. Like if I can't help you, I'm not gonna take your money. But if I can help you, yeah, let's get it. We're gonna get you there in 60 days, 90 days. I'm gonna teach you how to become a 6-figure earner in 30 days. One phone call, I can teach you how to become a 6-figure earner because I'm that good. I've been doing this for a long time. I know your problems, but I know you better than you know you. As far as business, I know your problems. I've been there. I went through it. I'm qualified by my suffering. And then I'm justified by my success. So never pick a coach or a mentor that needs you more than you need them. That's number one. Number two, this is my number 2 way that you pick a mentor. And this is another one that Nipsey made a mistake on. You don't never pick somebody that has the heart of a salesman or extortionist instead of a teacher. Your coach, your mentor should have the heart of a teacher, not a salesman, not an extortionist. You do want them to get you there fast as possible because that's what you're paying for. When you hire a mentor or a coach, you want them to get there as fast as possible. And like I said earlier in the live stream, if you guys need mentoring or if you want to join my mentorship program, you have to apply because we have a lot of people applying and we go through them. I have a whole staff. I got a dozen employees and they all go through it. But go to the website, ulegend.com, ulgnd.com. And if nothing else, join the masterclass. We actually got a discount code called it's Spring25. I'll put it in the chat right now. You get 25% off the masterclass if you're watching this live stream. Spring25. I just dropped it in the chat. You guys can go save that and you get 25% off the masterclass if you're watching this live stream right now. And you can apply for coaching or mentoring. And if you're 40 and up, or if you're approaching 40 and you don't know how to make money using the internet, and I'm not talking about just on social media. You don't have to have a social media following necessarily. It's helpful. Personal brands are always helpful. But we're going to teach all that soon in our next 40 internet income workshop. It's all my skill, the 11 years of skills that I learned, and I condensed it into a 3-day workshop where I teach you guys how to make full-time money, working part-time hours, get out of the 9 to 5, man, get out of the job. I work construction. I know the world, man. I worked construction the first 4 years when I was building my business. That next 40 workshop is going to help you guys. Now, back to this. The second principle, your mentor should have the heart of a teacher, not just a salesman or an extortionist. Now, you should pay because like Jesus said, where your heart is, where your treasure is, your heart follows. You don't pay attention if you don't pay the money. Plus, the value that you're getting, you should want to pay for. You shouldn't want to get nothing for free, right? But if it feels like the mentor or the coach you have is just trying to get money off of you and not trying to actually help you with the problems that you have, that's a problem. And that's not the guy you pick or the woman you pick. They should feel like they're actually trying to teach you something. If you guys look at my reviews with my clients and stuff, you go to the masterclass, look at the reviews and stuff, you're going to see people say, Will taught me more than I paid for. This is better than I paid for. I'm not taking nobody money if we can't really help them. Just not going to do it. But I always over deliver. That's how it should be. Your mentor should always over deliver. It's not a salesman thing. So if it feels like there's somebody's trying to get money off you, that's a problem. I'm sure there was plenty of times that Nipsey Hussle felt like, dang, Big U just taking advantage of me. You just taking money, bro. You ain't even really contributing. I mean, even if we go back to the diss song, when you look at the lyrics, that's what he was saying. That's what he was saying. And all those lyrics on You Don't Got a Clue. Say, I don't got a clue what you even do. Like, he said, F the middleman, all this stuff. That means he understood, like, too late, because he already signed the deal and he already picked a mentor based on something. I don't know what he was picking his mentor based on. But when you're young, you make these mistakes, or when you uninformed, you make this type of mistake. So never pick a coach or mentor that needs you more than you need them. Make sure they have the heart of a teacher and not a salesman or an extortionist in this case. He made that. That was a huge mistake. Don't make that mistake if you picking a business coach or a mentor. A good coach should feel like a guide, a teacher, and a servant. They should feel like, man, they helping me so much. Like they've given me so much information I did not know. They serving me. They really care about my problem. That's how it should feel when you got a good coach or a good mentor. They should really be working one-on-one with you. So those are the first two. And I said I had three. The third one, and this is probably the most important, to be real with you. A good coach or a good mentor, they should be able to show you counterintuitive lessons. What does that mean? That means it doesn't make sense until you apply the information. Why? Why is that important? Why is it important that a good coach, when I'm picking a coach or a mentor, and I have mentors and I have coaches. Former Italian mafia captain, Michael Franzese, is one of my mentors. He in his 70s now, but he was the richest mob member since Al Capone. One of my mentors right now. And I got other ones that you guys probably wouldn't know, but they're all millionaires, multimillionaires. I'm not talking about the little million. I'm talking about the big millions. I'm a little millionaire, a couple million, 3 million, 4 million. They the big boys. Like I said, the 5.5 in a day. Yeah, I got mentors like that. So this is the thing, bro. With my mentors, when I teach somebody else, the things that are being taught, they should be counterintuitive to what you already know. That's the third qualifying factor for me when I pick a coach or when I pick a mentor. And anytime I teach you guys something, when I say this is how you should do it, it's because this is what I do. Drop a diamond in the chat if you're learning something, man. So the third one, the first one, like I said, there's three of them that I got for you guys. That why I feel these are the three ways, right? Let me just recap them real quick. The first one, never pick a coach or a mentor that needs you more than you need them. Nipsey made that mistake. The second one, when you pick somebody, make sure they have the heart of a teacher and not a salesman or extortionist. Shouldn't feel like you need to take a shower after you talk to these people. And the third one, the most important one to me, is the things they show you should be counterintuitive lessons. That means it don't make sense until you apply it and you go, oh man, this worked. So when I teach my clients, I tell them the things that don't make sense to them in the beginning, then they apply it and they go, okay, now I understand. For example, I'm gonna give you an example of that for you guys for free. When I say it's easier to make $1 million in 6 months than it is to make $30,000 in a year. It's easier to make $400,000 in 6 months than it is to make $30,000 in a year. That don't make sense to people. Because they think we've been taught that time is money and that in order to make money, I have to work harder. We've been taught that by school. We've been taught that by just joining the workforce, right? I have to work harder to make money. No, you need to do the more mind work. Henry Ford has a quote, who created the Ford car, where he says, thinking is the hardest work there is. That's why so few choose to engage in it. John D. Rockefeller said, people that spend all their time working don't have any time to make money. I think that's one of the coldest quotes ever. People that spend all their time working have no time to make money. He understands. It's easier to make a lot of money in a short period of time than it is to make a little bit of money in a long period of time. Way easier to make a lot of money in a shorter period of time. I do it, so I know. Like I told you, I made I could show you. I made $13,000 yesterday. I teach people how to do that. So when I say it, they go, oh, it's counterintuitive but here's the reason that this is important. If it doesn't sound counterintuitive, that means it's common sense. If it's common sense, then you already know it. If you already know it, why are you paying somebody to teach it to you? If I get on here and I say things that you could find on Google, or if I teach you guys things that you could find in a college course, then why do you need to pay me to teach it to you? If I get on here, this is how you create an LLC. This is how you, bro. When I hear bad coaches and mentors, that's a sign, by the way, of bad coaches and mentors online. When you hear them like, yo, first thing you need is an LLC, they don't really know what they're talking about. They just going off of what they found on Google. No experience. Like I said earlier, no qualifying success, no qualifying suffering, and no justifying success. They haven't been through the suffering that qualifies them. They ain't had the success that justifies them yet. I've been through both. So I'm not going to get on here and waste y'all time talking about an LLC and all that, because even if you get an LLC, if you're a single member LLC, then they're still going to tax you like a sole proprietorship. So it's no tax advantage. You don't have enough customers coming in that you're going to have to worry about liability getting sued. So what am I going to tell you to spend $1,000 on an LLC? No, I'm going to tell you to spend $1,000 building your personal brand. Get a coach. Spend $5,000. Go get you a coach that could teach you the real stuff. I could teach you personal branding, right? Teach you how to do the steps that I actually did. Not go get an LLC. Sorry, no, I was just getting a little irritated. Are y'all following me? Are y'all with me? Drop a diamond in the chat so I can see that y'all understand what I'm saying. Those are scamming coaches. Drop a diamond in the chat. Jim, whatever. See somebody in the chat say it's not a diamond, it's a gem. Whatever you want to say. Right? So, counterintuitive, the third qualifying factor of picking a mentor and a coach. They got to teach you things that are counterintuitive to what you already know. If you already know it, why are you paying somebody to teach it to you? That doesn't make sense. So I'll tell my clients something like, if you want to get rich, you have to start giving things away for free. That doesn't make sense to people. But here's the thing. Serving is a principle that I learned from the Bible and God. So back to Genesis, I'll teach you guys this again. When I say something counterintuitive like that, it don't make sense. Oh, if you want to get rich, you got to start giving things away for free. How? What? How? Because your perspective of what money and what rich and what paying is not the same perspective of I have as what paying is. It's what you call free. I don't think anything is for free. I teach my clients there's 3 levels of transaction that people can pay you with, which is 1 is money. We all know money. Somebody could pay you with money. 2 is data. They could pay you by signing up on your email list. They could pay you in time, which means attention. They spend their time watching you and consuming the content. You guys are paying me right now. You're watching me. You're paying me in attention. You may not be paying me with your email address. You might not be in our entrepreneur networking group on ulegend.com, which is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. You might not be in that group, but you're paying me with your attention because your time is more valuable than the money you'll ever have. You can't get the time back. So I'll say free so you guys understand what I'm saying. But you have to give your time away for free in order to get rich. What does that mean? That's counterintuitive, right? That don't make sense. Everybody, that don't make sense, right? And I'm going to answer entrepreneur questions in a few seconds. I just want to get through these things. And then I'm going to go through the comments. You guys should drop any business question you have. No matter the business, I'm going to answer the question. Just give me a second. We'll get through that. I'll cue you guys when it's time. We're going to go there. So when I say that, you can get rich if you start giving things away for free. Doesn't make sense until you apply it. Then you understand. Oh, I'll go back to Genesis 1 and show you. I always give scripture proof of what I'm teaching, so you guys know that it's not coming from Will. I'm not that wise. God is that wise. I just listen and pay attention. I study the scriptures and I research them for myself. So back to Genesis. It's actually Genesis chapter 2. The first thing that God told man to do was to cultivate the garden, take care of the garden, work the Garden of Eden. When he created Adam, this is before Eve is even created. He tells him to work the garden. Excuse me. This is the principle of how you get rich. Apply this and you'll get rich. Amongst other things, but this is one of the things you have to apply. So if God told Adam to work the garden, what does that mean God did first? Everybody should be saying what? Created the garden. And then what? Gave it to him. He gave him something for free first. If you go to Deuteronomy chapter 8, it says that God led him out of the wilderness, taking them into a good land of honey, milk, all these gold, all these different things, copper, right? Good thing. Like, so I'm gonna just use Genesis. I don't want to get too deep into scripture because I don't have time. But in order for God to tell you to do something, in order for God to tell Adam to do something, the first man to do something, he had to give him something first. So I can't tell you to pay for my product. I can't tell you to frequent my business. I can't tell you to walk into my coffee shop. I can't tell you to buy my t-shirt. I can't tell you to watch my content until I do something for you first. Because people don't care about you as an entrepreneur. They care about themselves as a customer. What are you providing for me that makes me want to do this for you? If you're making content, are you entertaining me? Are you educating me? What are you providing for me that makes me want to click this video? If I have a coffee shop, are you making good coffee? Am I getting good customer service? Am I going to be treated right? Am I going to be talked to with respect? Is it going to be quick? I got to get to work. What are you going to do for me first? Right? Before you give me the coffee, before I pay for it. So when God gave Adam the garden, then he told him to work it. Even God has to give before he gets. Jesus came back, he did miracles first. Then he said, follow me. He put the fish in the boat for his disciples. Then he said, follow me. He didn't just say, hey, I'm Jesus Christ, I'm the Messiah, follow me because of my credence and because of things I've accomplished. Just follow me. Will Evans, when I come on here, I get on my live streams, I teach you guys entrepreneur information for free. I don't say for free, but you guys perceive it as for free. I give first, though. You give me your time, I'm going to give you some information to help you. As a result of that, people go to say, I want to learn how to fully do this. Now I want to buy coaching and mentoring from this person. Serving is the first principle that you have to learn. And I teach this in my book. I wrote a book called God's Automation. And it teaches the 3 principles, Bible principles, that'll make you rich. The first one is serve. If you don't know how to serve people, if you don't want to give nothing, if you're the person that, I'm not going to do nothing until I get paid. Millionaires don't talk like that. I went to dinner with Michael Franzese, one of my mentors. He was there to pay for the dinner. I paid for the dinner. He told me he's taking me out. I'll pay for the dinner. You already given me your time, your expertise, and let me ask any question I want. And you've made hundreds of millions of dollars. You think I'm about to sit here and let you pay for my dinner too? Don't ever be a taker. Be a giver. You got a good coach or mentor, somebody that can really teach you, pay them. Pay the fee. Right? Which is what I do. But the principle, it got to be counterintuitive. It don't sound like it makes sense until you apply it. You got to give. Like I said in that principle, right? Give first, then people will help you. Drop diamonds in the chat if that makes sense. I'll see you guys in the chat. And I got a podcast where I teach a lot of this stuff. It's called the Christianpreneur Podcast, the Will Evans Christianpreneur Podcast. If you sign up on the website, on my website, ulegend.com, scrolling at the bottom of the screen, right here at the bottom of the screen, you guys, ulgnd.com, short for Urban Legend. You scroll down on the home page and you put your email address in right here on the U Legend Millionaires. You can listen to the podcast. It gives you a secret menu where when you sign in to the website, you get all the resources. The podcast is in there, so you can get all this information again. Where I put scriptures on the screen because I see somebody in the chat say put the scriptures on the screen. I put the scriptures in the screen on that. So that principle, if you want to get rich, you want to get rich. You listening to me right now. You want to get rich, right? You want to make money. Of course you do. You should, because abundance is the gift that God gives us for being children of the King. If my dad is a king, then I'm entitled to the kingdom. If I serve my father properly. God is a God of abundance, not a God of lack. He don't want you to be poor. In fact, how can I bring people to God? The whole goal of humans being on earth is to colonize earth for the kingdom of God. So if God wants me here to bring more people to him, how am I going to bring more people to him and I'm out here struggling? That's not an appealing God to serve. Anyways. And I got scriptures. I could go into a whole thing on that. When people say that like money is evil and God don't want nobody. God wants you to be all right. I know better. You don't, but you know, you've been wrong before. You'll be wrong again. So that's what a good coach does. They teach you things that are counterintuitive to what you already understand and what you already know. So service, giving things away for free. When God gave Adam the garden, then he told Adam, okay, now you do something for me. I gave you this for free. You do something for me. That's how we do in business. That's the principle. I'm going to give you some free content. You do something for me. You join the masterclass. You do something for me. Sign up for mentoring. Let me teach you how to really do this all the way. Right? That's how I do it. But the content is free. You can watch it if you want to. You want to apply it. A lot of y'all won't apply it because it's free. Like the Bible says, the principle is where your treasure is, there your heart also will be. So you didn't pay no money, so you're not that invested in it. So it's not a big deal to apply. But for my clients, when they pay me that, and I charge because my value is real and my results are real. Number one, if you pay me, I charge $4,000 for a coaching call. People pay it too. A lot of people. And then they get on a call with me. We talk for 2-3 hours and I teach them how to make $10,000 in 30 days. Now, if you make $10,000 in 30 days, you don't give about that $4,000 that you gave me 30 days ago. Like, bro, you want to dang near do it again. Which is why also a lesson in that, charge for the value that you provide and not the quantity. A lot of people take the quantity and they don't look at the quality, because when you're poor, you think about the cost instead of the value. It's not about what you pay, it's about what you get. So that's a whole nother thing. But for the people that can't afford that, the masterclass is available, and we got that as a way cheaper option for you guys. And we teach personal branding, content creation, and starting a business in that class. And I teach it in about an hour and a half. It's a 3-part class. You can go check it out. Way cheaper. It's like a couple $100. And you guys got to, like I said, the discount, if you're watching the live stream right now, I'll put it in the chat again. For the masterclass, discount, spring 25. I just dropped it in the chat. Use that discount. You get 25% off the masterclass just for watching this live stream. Again, back to the principle. I'm serving you guys first. I'm going to give you something. Now you give me something. I gave you information for free. Go ahead, check it out. If you want to. You don't have to. God is good. But if you need the help, yeah, go do it, because I'm going to give you information. So, a good coach should, one, when you pick a coach or a mentor, they should, one, they should be teaching you things. Well, let me start from the top, how we actually did it, how we went through it. A good coach, you don't ever pick a coach that they need you more than you need them. You don't pick a coach that has the heart of a salesman and not a teacher. And you don't pick a coach that's not teaching you anything that, if they're teaching you everything that makes sense, then something's wrong, because it should be counterintuitive to what you already know. If you already know, you don't pay for it. When somebody's teaching me something, I should not know it. Otherwise, you're not teaching me. It shouldn't be common sense. It shouldn't be start an LLC, go get a loan from the bank. Bro, that don't help nobody. That's common sense. I could Google that. The lessons shouldn't be common sense. They should be counterintuitive. Now, in a second, we about to get into, you guys ask me any business question, and I'm going to help you guys with your personal business, even if you haven't started your business. If you have a business idea, or if you don't even know how to start your idea, I'm going to help you guys in the chat, and we'll do that for the last 30 minutes of this. I'm going to help whoever has a question about business. And as a side note to that last point that I made about the counterintuitive lessons, that's the only purpose of the Bible in general. That's why I like to teach from the Bible, because all of it is about things that are counterintuitive to human nature. Or like my Orthodox Christian friends, Orthodox Christians would say our animalistic nature. But regardless, it goes against our current desires. Even the natural ways and our inclinations to sin. That's what the Bible goes against. And that's the whole purpose of it, to teach us things that we don't know as common nature or common sense. That's why I teach the principles I learn in business from it, because it's the ultimate mentor. The Bible's the ultimate mentor. All the scriptures and teachers are counterintuitive. And to kind of tie that off, the mistake Nipsey realized, or the mistake Nipsey made, was when he realized he couldn't learn much from Big U, was when the issue started. When Nipsey go, oh, dang, you ain't really doing nothing for me. I know more than you. You can't walk me through no doors. He reached a level of success where his mentor was better off learning from him than the other way around. Which is another key. Man, I could add that as the fourth key, but you wouldn't know. But so I don't. But a good mentor is learning every single day. I spend 6 hours a day either studying scripture, talking to somebody, getting mentored myself, even though I coach. Even though I teach myself, even though that's my business. I still have a mentor. I still have a coach. I still read a book a week, 2 books a week. Every day I spend 6 hours learning, because that's the job. How am I teaching people and I'm not learning? That's a hypocrite. How am I teaching people and I don't pay for coaching? That's a hypocrite. So that was just to tie that off. Never make the business mistake of picking a culture or a mentor the way Nipsey Hussle did it. God rest his soul. We're praying for him and his family. And hopefully, if this is the case with everything that's going on, he gets justice for it. But that's that. Now, I'm about to answer all my entrepreneurs in the chat. If you're a subscriber, you could be in the chat. We're about to answer all the entrepreneur questions. If you waited and watched this whole live stream, this is your chance to get some free coaching, free mentoring, free advice, and I'm going to help you as much as possible. If you need me to work one-on-one with you, or if you want me to put more of a focus on you specifically, then go to the website, put an application in for mentoring. Or if you just need some advice, you want to know how to start your personal brand, start creating content to help your business and build a business using the internet and using content to kind of elevate you, go get the masterclass, go to the website. Like I said, you guys got the discount code now in the chat. It's SPRING25, all one word, SPRING25. Go to the masterclass, hit the unlock button, and you'll see a preview of the class. And like I said, we teach you guys, you can watch the full lesson or you can watch it in parts, and you watch it at a self-pace and you have access to this for the rest of your life. SPRING25, you get 25% discount on the masterclass. Let's get into the entrepreneur questions in the chat. It don't matter what business it is. I'm going to help you guys. Let me go through these and see. Also, we had a super chat while I was going through the comments. So while I was going through the content. So I want to say thank you to B Matt for the donation. He said, "Yo, Will, love from North Florida. Salute to Florida. Say your content has been great recently as a young entrepreneur on my spiritual journey. Salute to you, brother. God bless you. And I hope that, God reveals himself in a way to you that only he can. And I hope that your business is blessed beyond measure, honestly, because everybody should have abundance if you're a child of God. God is like I said earlier, man, abundance is entitled to children of the King. If you were a member of the channel, you could become a member for $3. I'll put you on screen, or if you send a super chat, I'll put you on screen. Otherwise, I'm just going to pick the comments that I want to read. Salute to one of my members, Garden Lady 2018. Said, "Will, what do you think Elon Musk's biggest mistake with Tesla? And do you think he can recover the brand?" I don't know about his biggest mistake. I think I'll say something that you guys can apply by learning from Elon Musk, his example, though, because I don't know enough of his business to know about his mistakes, what mistakes or pitfalls he had. But one thing I can say for a fact that you guys can use Elon Musk's blueprint. It's not really his blueprint, but a blueprint that he used to have success for himself is, in these days and times, if you have a business, your personal brand is very important. Your personal brand aligning with your business is very important. The reason that's important is because the associations and disassociations that somebody draws to your personal brand also converts to the business. And even businesses are looking. This is why businesses go find celebrities to associate with their brand, because they understand this basic principle. They understand that people don't care about you. They care about themselves. People don't care about your business. They care about themselves. So the things internally that somebody has that aligns with themselves is the reason that they purchase your business or your product, frequent your business, or watch your content, whatever it is. They support you because they're really supporting themselves. Kanye West said this perfectly. He said, nobody's a fan of me. They're a fan of it. He said, nobody's a fan of Kanye West. They're a fan of themselves. If you're a fan of Kanye West, you're really just a fan of you. That's a basic business principle across the board. I don't care about, we can use Tesla as an example. If I use Tesla as an example, I'm the type of person, let's say I'm the type of person that I want to save the planet. I want electrical cars because electric vehicles in general are better for the atmosphere. They're better for, nature. They're better for the ecosystem and environment. If I already feel that about myself, when somebody creates an electric vehicle, all Tesla had to do was align themselves with the type of people that want to save the planet. Somebody at home is sitting at home right now saying, I feel like this about myself in something in terms of your business. You have to create, when you're creating a personal brand, which is what Elon Musk did, and he associated it to his business and tied them both together. When you create a personal brand, and this is something that I teach my clients how to do, and we cover it in the masterclass as well. creating a personal brand is so important because the brand draws the associations and it creates a cognitive dissonance in your customer or your client or your consumer, that they feel like if I don't purchase this person's thing or if I don't support this person's business, then I'm not who I think I am. Does that make sense to people? Am I making that simple enough for you guys to understand? So if I use another example, which is designer clothing, pick a designer brand, don't matter. Let's say designer purses. If I use designer purses as an example, or designer clothes as an example, I'm not successful if I don't buy this type of purse. I'm not successful if I don't buy this type of clothes. Those are the associations that designer clothing and designer brands have drawn that creates a cognitive dissonance in somebody, that they feel like if I make money, I have to wear designer clothes because I'm not successful. If that's a successful clothes, that's the company that sells clothing for successful people. That's the brand. And I'm a successful person, so I have to wear those clothes. Cognitive dissonance, associations, disassociations. Poor people. So a brand is, a personal brand is, or any brand is, a good one. A brand is when you're able to draw an association or a disassociation that reminds people of a story. That your name, so your name has to draw an association or a disassociation in terms of a personal brand that reminds people of a story. So when people hear your name, so Fashion Nova is a clothing company that early on, if you have a business and you don't have a personal brand, you have to go stand next to personal brands to make your business successful. Elon Musk, to answer your question, he created his personal brand and then he tied it to Tesla. So people buy Tesla because it's Elon Musk's car. Now, it's not just because it's an electrical car. So people don't care about the product you create. They care about themselves. Elon Musk created a brand that he cares about the environment. That's his personal brand. Somebody, I care about the environment. We're going to make electric cars. People say, I care about the environment. I'm going to buy an electric car. Is that simple? Drop a diamond or a gem in the chat if that's simple enough for you guys to understand. So if you're a company and you don't want to create a personal brand, you have to create a brand association using somebody else's fire and stand next to it and keep warm. I.e., Fashion Nova. In the beginning, whose personal brand, when Fashion Nova started, for my ladies that's listening in the chat, whose personal brand did Fashion Nova stand next to make their business successful, to draw associations and disassociations? If you said Cardi B, you're correct. Cardi B. We make clothing for curvy women in this demographic, African American and Latino households. We're going to get Cardi B to stand next to our business because we don't have a personal brand, but we need somebody's personal brand to associate with curvy women clothing for minority communities. Boom. That's the association that they draw. They use Cardi B's association and her brand. They stood next to the fire. They kept warm. Now they have a successful business. That's how they did it. So I hope that answers your question. Let me get to some more entrepreneurs' questions in the chat. Said, I'm having trouble coming up with a business that I can do from anywhere and not based off of my daily involvement. That's a very common problem that I help with my clients. Very common problem. The reason that, one, we have to reshape your mindset. I'm having trouble coming up with a business that I can do from anywhere and not based off of my daily involvement. So, one, I want to be more in depth with your question. I want to know what your business is. I'm not going to lie. I want, tell me what your business is so I can fix it for you. Oh, you say you're having trouble coming up with a business. Okay, I can help you come up with a business. First 4 things. What do you like? These are my 4 pillars of purpose, my second book that I'm teaching. What do you like? What are you good at? How can you serve a large group of people doing it? And how can you honor God doing it? You have to have all 4 of those. I'm going to go through them really quick. What do you like? The thing that you've liked intrinsically since you were a child. This is how you come up with the best business idea for you. Not, oh, somebody else making money doing that, so I want to do that. No, this is for you. The thing that you liked since you were a child internally that nobody could tell you what that is. You knew what you liked when you were a child. It could be you always liked to cook. You was playing with cooking toys before, you were able to cook. It could be you've always liked to dance. You were dancing and you've always liked that, right? You have to combine that with the thing that you're good at. So I call it, these are my 4 pillars of purpose: enjoyment, expertise, enjoyment, expertise, the thing you like, the thing you're good at. It's service, which is empathy. And it's the 4 E's: enjoyment, expertise, empathy, and exaltation. How can I honor God is the 4th one, right? So the first 2, what do you like? Okay. Also, not just what you like, but what are you good at? Combine those 2 things. So it can't be either or, it has to be and. What are you good at? That's the second one. That's expertise. What skill set do you have? So I'll use Will Evans, me, as an example. The good thing I like business. I've always been an entrepreneur before I knew the word entrepreneur. When I was a kid, I was flipping stuff that I wasn't supposed to be flipping out of my house, like my own clothes and stuff. My mom was pissed. I'm talking about first grade. Always like business. Always like that entrepreneur stuff. Second thing, what am I good at? I'm good at communicating. Now, when I say the thing that you're good at, I'm not talking about something you learn to be good at. I'm talking about the thing that you naturally always been good at. It's a skill. Everybody has a gift. Everybody has a garden that God gave them to work. What is your garden? For Will Evans, it's communication. I've always been good at communicating. I could talk to anybody from any walk of life. When I travel the world, I make friends in every country. I'm an introvert naturally, but I have a gift for communication. It's a skill set. I like business. I'm good at communicating. Maybe to serve the most people, which is the 3rd pillar. How can you serve the most people? Maybe to serve the most people possible, I can communicate with people about business on a platform where I can serve a large amount of people, which is my live streams, my personal, my Instagram, my TikTok, whatever, right? Or one of them. I got a bunch of them. So those are the first 3 pillars. And then how can I honor God? Because like the scripture says, Psalm 127, it's in vain if God is not in it. It says, he who builds the house without God labors in vain. The watchman that stays awake to watch the city without God stays awake in vain. In vain you rise early and go to bed late. Eating the bread of anxious toil. That means being anxious about the work that you have to do and anxious how you're going to come up with your success. In vain you rise early and stay up late. Going to bed, I'm grinding, I'm hustling. Eating the bread of anxious toil, for God grants rest to those that he loves. So you have to incorporate God. Now, for Will Evans, I'm gonna use myself as an example. You use yourself as an example on this to come up with the business that you need to find. 1, I like business. 2, I'm good at communicating. 3, I'm gonna serve a large amount of people that have, maybe I serve a large people. Now the group has to be big enough that a lot of people have the problem. It can't just be 2 or 3 people from the neighborhood that have this problem and you solve that. You're gonna make 2 or 3 people type of money. You need to have a large group of people to have a problem. A lot of people don't know the ins and outs of business. That's something that I do, right? So I communicate the thing I'm good at, which is business, to a large group of people. My large group of people of entrepreneurs that want to learn how to be more successful in business, how to have that 5-figure day. Will, how did you make $13,000 yesterday in one day? Will, how do I become a millionaire? I'm from the hood. I'm from the hood. I've been shot. Look, bullet wounds. I've been shot 4 times. I got a bunch in my legs. I've been to jail. You can't use them excuses with me. I'm 2-strike felon. You can't use them excuses. You can give your life to God and change. I've been divorced. I'm married now. Love my wife. I've been there though. I've been a single father. My first 4 years in business, I was working a 9 to 5. I worked construction. I worked construction for years. If you follow me on my social media, go through my timeline. I put up a post, a throwback when I used to work construction. I worked construction. I worked in the containers at the warehouse. I pushed carts for Food for Less in the summer. And come on, man, you can't talk to me about it. I live in a mansion now. I've traveled the world. My wife a model. You can't tell me about coming from nothing and making it. So I communicate to a large group of people. I honor God by incorporating biblical scripture. That's the 4th pillar. How do I honor God? I honor God by incorporating how he taught me to teach other people with it. That's how I serve God with it. That's how I honor God with it. Now for you, your business might be you sell cupcakes. And for every 10 cupcakes you sell, you're going to give a pack away to the homeless. That's how you honor God in your business. Right? We talked about Saul and David. It's just about your heart. You might say, hey, for every $1,000 we make, we're going to give 100 to the church. We might do that. I don't know. You might say, hey, God, what you got me to do, I'm going to honor you in this way. You know, for if you have a business helping, I have a client that is a therapist and she helps battered women. You know, and she might say, hey, for every however much money I make, or for every client that we help, we provide a free resource, or we provide some free whatever, a free book to help them, a free journal for every client that come in the door with scriptures that'll help them. Like, you know, it could be anything, but you got to have that. You got to honor God, because if you do it without God, it's in vain. So those are the 4 ways you can find your business idea. Now, to do it from anywhere, you want to create a business idea that, and without your daily involvement, to answer your question, you want to do it from anywhere and you don't want it to be based on your daily involvement, then you have to create a business and find the business that you can do virtually. I would suggest for you to create a personal brand that when you funnel people to your business, because I can't tell you, I got one client that I could think of off the top of my head. He got 4 million followers on TikTok. I think like 300,000 or 400,000 on Instagram, and he got like 30,000 subscribers on YouTube. And he came to me when he realized that going viral don't make you money. And you got to make money using the internet, not just on the internet. You can make money on the internet from the content. You can make a lot, but that's not the primary source. There's a reason that, if you guys know the YouTuber Mr. Beast, there's a reason that he started the chocolate company and all this other stuff, because he don't want to have to work for his YouTube channel. So create the personal brand, but use the personal brand to create other things and draw those associations. Just like I said earlier in this chat with the Elon Musk Tesla example, he used the personal brand to sell his cars, so he always don't have to go viral in order for him to have money. So you have to do the same thing. Create a personal brand that'll get you out of the daily involvement, and that allows you to do it from anywhere in the world. Hope that answers your question. I had one to say, I want to start my own graphic design brand. How do I decide on a name? And salute to Garden Lady 2018, member of my channel. I appreciate you for your super chat donation. Said, how do you start a name? This is the key that I give my clients when they start in a business. If I get somebody to come in, they want to learn how to start a business and they want to name it, this is a good little trick that I'll give you for free. Pick the association, right? That you want to have. Like, I want my business to be about strength, and then go look up all the synonyms for strength in other languages, because typically other languages are only businesses in those countries, if they businesses at all. So like the word Nike. Nike is a Greek word. Nike is the goddess of victory in Greece. I've been to Greece. That's how I know. I was in Greece last summer in Athens. Nike is the goddess of victory. So they associated their brand. They found the association. We want to associate our brand with victory in sports. And then they went and they looked for other languages that word victory was associated in a different language, and they created the name Nike. So that's how I would choose. That's how I would teach you to choose a name for your brand. For me, I use the acronym for my company. My company is U Legend Media. So you see it scrolling at the bottom of the website, U Legend Media, ulegend.com. And that's short for Urban Legend. I just shortened it, right? Because that's my brand, is somebody to come from urban environment that's become a legend. I've become a millionaire from the hood, man. Urban Legend. Salute to Nip. Nip had a line. Say, I'm an urban legend, South Central in a certain section. Salute to Nip. Rest in peace to him. Said, Will, are you an investor? Would you invest in an idea based off a pitch? Absolutely, I invest, but I charge people to pitch to me, because you're not gonna waste my time. My time is so valuable. I'm very ruthless with my time. So I charge people to make a pitch. I need to see that you're invested in this company just as much as me if I'm gonna make an investment. Sometimes I'll take a deal. Like I said earlier, I've done equity deals previously in the past, still do them sometimes, where I don't want the money. A company will come and say, I'll give you $250,000. I'll say no, because I know me doing a video for you or a live stream for you, long term, is me associating with you. And I might make the money one time, but you're going to make the money hand over fist for the next 10 years. As my brand grows, the more you're going to be. And I learned this from Drewski. Drewski did a deal with $10,000 with poster company. He charged them $10,000. And 2 years later, Drewski went crazy, viral. And the company started using the same video he did 2 years ago, and they made like 10 million. And they sent them another 15,000. I said, I'll never do a bad deal again. You got to pay me a lot to associate with your company. Because as my brand grows, you grow, you know? So, but for that reason, I charge people to pitch to me. And also it weeds out people that, you know, are not serious. Because a lot of times, because of where I come from, people try to bring me ideas. And the ideas is not really ideas. It's like, yo, I got an idea. What they really is trying to do is to get me to work for them. And I don't need a job. I don't work my business like a job. I got 12 employees because I don't want a job. So people try to bring me their pitch. So, and really the pitch is, can you just give me some money? And it's like, okay, well, how much have you invested in this? Nothing yet. I need your 15,000 first. What? That's not a pitch. That's not an investment. That's me running a business for you or starting a business for you. You guys learning anything? I hope that we didn't just entertain. This is a longer live stream. I just don't want to entertain you guys. I always want to educate you guys on something that make your life better, not just mine. I don't want to create content, get views, and then you guys don't learn nothing or you guys don't get nothing. So in the chat, let me know. Drop a diamond or a gem in the chat if you learning something that helps me know that we on the right track. Say, how do you decide on a brand name? I just kind of went over that. I might have been a little late to your comment. Let me see. So how do I set up? Or how do I step out and to share my story for the first introduction of my personal brand? Nobody cares about your story. And I'm going to just, if I can coach you, you know, and I hope that I won't offend you. Nobody cares about my story. They care about their own stories. And they don't really care about their own stories that much. All they care about is how your personal brand serves them. So don't think from the perspective of, I need to share my story. Nobody cares about your story. You know, your mom don't even really care about your story. She was there for it. All jokes aside, I'm not trying to be rude or mean, but I want you to get, it's the mindset I want you to break. It's not about your personal story. Don't think about, oh, my personal story matters. No, it doesn't. People have so much going on in their life. I had a homeless dude outside my office. I have an office in downtown. I had a homeless dude outside my office. He go, man, people walk past me. They don't even look at me, bro. How can I like create success? Because they see me in my suit, go into my office, talk to my employees. And I stop and I say, look, man, you got to get out of this mindset that people are walking past you because they're doing something to you. Nobody knows you or cares about your story. They got something going on today. If you want to be successful and you want to create a successful personal brand, how you introduce it is, hey, I'm this person that has something for you. When people, I was just teaching this in the masterclass, actually. We just updated the masterclass on the website. I was teaching this. When people ask, what do you do? You guys network, you ever network and somebody like, so what do you do? What they're really saying is, what can you do for me? They're not asking you what you do. They don't care what you do. They're saying, so what can you do for me? That's just rude to say. So they'll say, so what do you do? Understanding that psychology helps you understand, okay, it's not about me, it's about them. You need to pick, to start a personal brand, pick a group of people that you can serve. Become a servant to them people. Go to sleep, wake up thinking about those people's problems. For me, I go to sleep, I wake up, live my day wondering if people need my help. How can I help more people? What resources, what can I learn to teach more people? What scriptures am I missing? What am I missing in scripture? What coach can I hire that's going to help me teach people better? When you start your personal brand like that, then people go, oh, I know what this is. Originally, when I'm talking about 10 years ago, when I started my personal brand, it was to give the Inland Empire representation in entertainment. I just wanted people to know that this place exists. And I created, there's 4.4 million people in my region of California that don't get talked about. And I became the king of this area because I understood that people didn't have representation. I just gave them representation publicly in entertainment. That's how I built my personal brand. And then it allowed me to get these big deals from these companies in the Inland Empire that was like, yo, we want all the people in this 4.4 million people, I think it's like 5 million people region, to come support our business. We'll give you a check to associate with you because everybody looks at you like the king of the Inland Empire publicly. So that association was based, that brand that I created was based on helping other people have representation. You got to figure that out for yourself. So your introduction should be how you help people, not your story. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that helps you. Said, I just purchased the masterclass and definitely appreciated that $50 saving for the value. God bless you. If you in the masterclass, said God bless you. Thank you for joining the class. If you in the class, I hope that you go through it. The masterclass is on the website if you're not in it. And if you don't have the code for the discount that he just got, if you're watching this live stream, it's Spring 25. Spring 25. I'll drop it in the chat one more time. That you take that code to the website, join the masterclass. You click the unlock button on ulegend.com. The website scrolling at the bottom of the screen. And you join and you get the full lesson. You can watch it all in one full lesson if you want, or you can watch it in parts and it's self-paced. You'll have it for the rest of your life. You have access to this forever once you get it. The first part of the lesson, we teach you introduction. The first part of the lesson, we introduce it. I go through a lot of different scenarios and then we teach you about personal branding in the first part. Second part, I'm going to teach you guys content creation strategies. And then the third, I'll teach you how to build a business. Now, what's interesting about the masterclass and the perspective that I did it from was I did the masterclass based on how Jesus Christ created his personal brand. He's the muse. He's the example that we use. He's the, ultimate example of this because he created a personal brand that lasted over 2,000 years. So why wouldn't I use the best personal brand of all time, study that, and teach you guys it? So this is my Create Like Christ content masterclass. This is my Create Like Christ masterclass. So the personal branding, we teach you how Jesus Christ personal branded. And then we teach you how Jesus created his sermons and how he created his content. And we teach you those principles so you can learn how to do it for yourself. That's what makes this masterclass special. We teach it from the perspective of how Jesus Christ did it. So I'm glad that you got that class. You got the $50 saving for watching this live stream. Spring 25 is the discount code. And I hope that you get all the value of it. Make sure you take your notes with the class. That's where the master class is, you guys. Said, where can I find the master class information again? ulegend.com. It's right on the homepage of my website, ulgnd.com. I hope that you guys got them gems. I'm going to answer a couple more entrepreneur questions. Okay, said the personal brand relates to a story. No? Yes. But the personal brand has to relate not to your personal story necessarily, has to relate to a story that the consumer is telling themselves. So when we create, I want you to stop thinking about personal brand from any other perspective than this. When you create a personal brand, it's creating an association or a disassociation. So so I teach this in the masterclass too. I'll give it to you guys, a little piece of it for free. When somebody becomes a fan of a sports team that they were not a fan of last year, just because that sports team won the championship, is because they identify themselves as successful or a winner, or they don't want to be associated to anything losing. So they'll go, even if I'm not from New York and the Yankees win the championship, the World Series, I'm going to say I'm a Yankees fan next year if I want to be associated with winning because I feel like a winner. Wallow267 do this all the time. A brand tells the story. It doesn't tell the story, excuse me. It reminds people of a story based on the associations and disassociations. When I say disassociations, that means that the brand might, so people typically like to stand for something or stand against something. So if I'm a Republican, I stand against Democrats. If I'm a Democrat, I stand against Republicans. If I shop at Target, I stand against shopping at Walmart. If I shop at Walmart, I stand against shopping at Target, right? That's the disassociation. They stand for something. I stand for shopping at Target, and I stand against shopping at Walmart, right? Associations and disassociations create a brand. It reminds them of the story of the name. So when I say Target, your mind goes to customer experience, a little more expensive than Walmart, but customer experience is different. I shop there, so the association I draw is to myself is I'm the type of person that shops at somewhere with a better customer experience. Now, if I'm a Walmart visitor, I'm somewhere that goes, I'm a person that gets the cheapest price. I get the best deals all the time when I spend money. That's the association I'm already waking up with in my heart before I wake up and go to Walmart. Walmart just reminds me of that association and disassociation from Target. Their name The name Walmart reminds me of that story that I tell myself. So when you're creating your personal brand, it's not the story that you tell somebody else. It's the story they tell themselves about your name. Does that make sense? To answer your question. Said, can you run multiple businesses off of one LLC? I usually don't teach things that you can find on Google. You could search that, but I'll tell you the answer just because you asked it. And this is going to be my last question that I'll answer. Yes and no. So you can have a holding company that so yes and no. Like one LLC can house all your other LLCs, but you can't say, hey, this is the LLC, and because of taxes, you can't say this is the LLC and I have 4 different companies unless you have I guess you could have a DBA, a doing business as. I think from the perspective you're asking the question, though, you're talking about like taking the LLC and then creating 3 businesses and saying, no, it's all this one LLC. You have to have a DBA for each business, and you have to pay taxes. Any income you take from all those businesses, you have to pay taxes in one pot. You know what I mean? But if you're gonna have, you have options with it. Like you can have an LLC that's a holding company and it houses all your other LLCs. So I got 4 LLCs that are owned by this one LLC, right? Or I got this one LLC and then I got a DBA, but it's all one business. I just present it differently to the public differently, right? So like those are 2 options. But you can't say, I'm making money over here, I'm making money over here, and I don't have to pay taxes on one because this one ain't, like you gotta just be careful with taxes. That's the last question I'll take on this live stream. I hope that you guys learned something. Subscribe, so when I do the next live stream, you guys will get this information again. We'll have another topic to talk about. I hope that you guys were entertained, informed, and educated by this. Like I said, if you don't have a mentor, go to the website ulegend.com. If you need somebody to walk you through business, and even if I don't have to do it from the biblical perspective, but I like to, and I'm gonna do it internally, whether you like it or not, because I just get my business principles from scripture, man. But go to the website ulegend.com, ulgnd.com, scrolling at the bottom of the screen right now on the ticker. And you guys can sign up for the masterclass. You got a discount code, SPRING25. Somebody else type that in the chat, in the comments. Let people know that's discount code. If you watch this live stream, SPRING25 gives you $50 off the masterclass. And if you click the button, you'll see what the masterclass is. You can either watch the full lesson, you have it, or you can self-pace it. Watch the introduction, the personal branding portion of it, the content creation portion of it, and build a business portion of it. And self-pacing, you have it forever, where I teach a lot of this stuff. And in the masterclass, what makes it special, like I told you guys, is I teach those things, personal branding, content creation, building a business, the way Jesus used, the blueprint he used for his own way of doing it. So Jesus created content. They were called sermons. They were called parables. And I show you how you can use his blueprint to do it for yourself. Also, how content creation helps your business grow. Same thing with personal branding. Jesus had the greatest personal brand of all time. I'll show you how he established it. And I'll show you how you can use his blueprint to establish yours and build a business around the content so you can make money working part-time hours, but still making full-time money. And also, in terms of the website, if you need a coach or if you want to become a client of mine, which we have a lot, you can put an application in for mentoring. My employees are going to go through the applications and they're going to pick who they feel like is qualified. And if you're over 40 or approaching 40, I want you guys to get on the wait list for the next 40 Internet Income Workshop. This is where if you don't have a social media following, you can learn 10 years of my skill in 3 days. And same thing, make full-time money working part-time hours, help you retire if you haven't put up a retirement yet. And I created this specifically for the entrepreneurs that are approaching 40 years old and over 40 years old, because you guys have a whole different mindset. And I like to help you guys, get some of the secrets of monetization online and not just making money off of the content. That's not necessarily the skill. The skill is being able to make money using the internet, which I teach you guys the difference of in this workshop. And we're putting that together right now. Get on the wait list so you can get it first when it drops. And that's going to change your life. And my goal always is to help people do what I've done. And I hope that you guys are really getting some value out of it. I'm here to serve you guys. If you can't afford nothing, if you really popped and you can't afford it, because I've been there. we still got the U Legend Millionaires Entrepreneur Networking Group. You can sign up, put your email in for free, right? Sign up. You get a secret menu on the website. So when you go up to the secret menu, it'll look like this. It'll say starter. You can go here and you can see all the things that you get in the secret menu, the podcast, the newsletter, the resource library, budget calculators, all that good stuff. And all you got to do is sign up here for free at the U Legend Millionaires Entrepreneur Networking Group. And the book is out now. This is the last thing I'll say before we end. The book is out now. God's Automation. Go to ulegend.com or ulegend.shop. These are 3 biblical principles that'll make you rich. Serve, work, and believe. Now, I'll break it down in the book. These are going crazy, so you guys can check that out too. God bless you guys. I hope that you guys had a great time. I see Junk Squad in the chat. We just approved your mentor application, Junk Squad. My guy Al, I believe that's Al. Al, we just approved your mentor application. Go check it out. I would love to work with you. I reviewed my VP sent your application to me personally, and I reviewed your application. I would love to work with you. I love the energy that you had in your application and your reasoning and everything behind it. I would love to help you, brother. So go over there and check your email, Al. And I recognize the business name, junksquad.com. And that was a free plug, to clip that. And I hope you get some mentoring from me. I would love to help. All right, you guys, that's all I got on this one. God bless you guys. I'll see you guys on the next stream. Make sure you subscribe. And if you're not subscribed to the other channel, go to the other channel, the Will Evans channel. Go to this channel and click the Will Evans channel where we have the podcast, where we just straight business and we don't talk about nothing but business. We don't do no entertainment. I just go straight scripture and business over there. The Christianpreneur podcast on the Will Evans channel. We'll have another podcast episode probably tonight. God bless you guys. I'll see you guys on the next live stream. About to take my wife on a date, man. I'm out of here.